Hi guys, my name is Steve B. I'm coming to you today to talk to you about staying sober for today. And, I got a little thing I wanted to chat with you guys about, and it's called trust. I'm glad you guys are with me today. Give a like and subscribe. I'd love to have you do that. It'll help getting it out to more people. And I'm glad to come to you guys today. It's a beautiful fall day. It is September 27, and glad to be with you. Glad to be with you. Glad to share, a few minutes with you. I'm down here at my favorite spot at the park, and drinking isn't on my mind, and I don't want it to be on your mind either. You don't have to drink today, and you can do it. Just concentrate on one day in front of you, the 24 hours in front of you. That's all you got to focus on, and you can do it. Yeah, well, I came in, when I came into recovery, I had trust issues. First I had trust issues with everybody, because I thought, well, people they're gonna dump you in the drop of a hat, or they're gonna judge you, or they're gonna hate on you, or whatever. I honestly, I'm good today, but it took a lot of work, and it took a lot of praying and meditating, and I brought all the stuff to God. God knows that I had trouble with people when I first came in, and little by little by little, I got a little bit better. And when I hooked up with my ex-wife, my second wife, Denise, I was married twice, divorced twice, but Denise, we met in AA and in the program. And a few years into the program, I hooked up with her, and she was about 8 years younger than me. And we hooked up, ended up clicking pretty good. I always thought that I would never end up with a beautiful girl like her. I thought she was the prettiest girl in the rooms, and in recovery. And yeah, she was a looker. And when I hooked up with her, there was a club nearby that we met at. And at the club, there was a lot of other guys that were interested in her too. And she ended up with me, so a lot of guys were hating on me. I don't know why. We ended up together, and ended up getting married and being together for 18 years. So, and having a couple of kids together. And in the beginning, I didn't trust guys around her. I mean, one look at her, and then they wanted her too, and that didn't sit good with me. So my lack of trust, I didn't trust myself, I didn't trust her, I didn't trust any guy, anyone else, nobody. I didn't trust anybody. So we went to meetings together. And I'm not saying for people that are go to meetings together, that are couples and stuff like that, hey, more power to them. I don't care. But for me, I did that in the beginning, and I recognize it now for what it is. I had my program, she had her program, and when we go to meetings together, neither can really talk. And if your issues with the other person, they're there, sitting next to you. And I see a lot of people do that today. They hook up, and all of a sudden they're tied together at the waist, and that's how I was with Denise. I like I said, I didn't trust guys. And like some guys said some things to me that I didn't appreciate, and it was like, I'm trying to live my life. Get the F away from me. Go live your life. And and so we went to all meetings, and what happened was we ran away for a year and went to Maine, and I went to meetings up there. We hooked up with a new bunch of people while we were up there. And then after a year, you know, it was like, okay, that's enough of Maine. Came back down to Connecticut, and hooked up with meetings again. And it's like, lo and behold, all the people were gone. All the people that were a problem before weren't even around anymore, you know, and I was fine with that. So the meetings continued and continued and continued. And like I said, we were together for 18 years, and the kids grew up. After that, when they started growing up, I started taking them to meetings, or both of us, or just me. And they ended up loving meetings. So, you know, they would always be, when they were little, like, can I go? Can I go? Can I go? And if they had cookies or cake or something there, they'd want that, or you know, juice or soda, something like that. There was always that. And, you know, and I had issues with God too when I came in here. When I came in here, you know, to recovery, that is, I had big time issues with God. It was like, yeah, I want to get sober. How am I going to do it? And I had, you know, I grew up thinking God was a condemning God, like a condemning God that no matter what you do, He's going to judge you, and you're going to be forever at His mercy, and there's no way you can please Him. That was the God I grew up with, thanks to dear old Dad. But the God I have today, and this took a long time, was I came to God on my own, and I asked Him to come into my life, because I was sober, but, you know, I wasn't happy. And God came into my life, never left my side, and until I take my last breath, I want to be with God. I want to be by His side. I want Him by my side. And when I wake up in the morning, I say, Lord, stay by my side. Hold my hand. Put your arm around my shoulder, you know, and be with me and help me go through everything. And He will, and does. You know, the Word says that God will fight your battles. And lo and behold, since I asked Him into my life, He's been fighting my battles. Been fighting my battles. I don't have to fight alone. I'm not alone, unless I want to be. I mean, I could, you know, ego, edging God out. I could do that sometimes, and when I do that, I have to come back to the place where I allow Him back in, because I can't do this thing without God and people. You know, sometimes it's been a crazy week. I haven't had my internet for a week because the internet was down, and I finally got it back yesterday. It's a beautiful thing. And it's you know, so I got my internet back, but I went a week without it. A week. 7 days makes 1 week. No, I love that. Yeah. But, you know, yeah, I got it back, and, you know, I can use it again, which is nice. You know, what are you guys up to today? Hope you're up to a good thing. Hope you're staying sober. Hope you're just taking life today on life's terms, because that's the way it was meant to be taken. And I had big issues with God in the beginning, and when I was at a place where I felt like I was the only man in the world. I thought I was the loneliest man in the world, and I had nobody. Went through this terrible time in recovery, and I didn't know it, but God was rebuilding me. He was taking me to a place where I could be better than I was. Awesome. And, you know, that's the way it is. When you turn things over, it's scary to turn it over. But when I turned it over, it was like I wanted to die. And since I asked God to help me out and to come into my life and be with me every second, I have not wanted to die. I mean, you know, I'm not suicidal anyway, but, you know, I hear stories of people that have tried it numerous times. You know, today I want to live. I want to feel. I want to experience. What a journey. You know, and I want you guys to have that kind of journey too. You know, if I'm doing it and have been doing it, you could do it. I'm nothing special. I'm just an average guy, and nothing special, nothing. And you guys are important to the degree that God wants you to, and He's gonna help you too. If He helps one person, He'll help you, because that's how He is. Grew up as a little boy thinking God is a punishing, horrible, punishing, terrible God who wanted to hurt me, who was angry all the time, and I couldn't do anything right, riddled with sin and riddled with terrible thoughts, and just a horrible human being, and that's how I treated myself for many, many years. Lo and behold, when I asked God in, He had been working on having me come back to Him anyway. So many things happened that were not a coincidence, and the number one thing that happened was the trip to Israel. Then I met God. I met Jesus there, and He has never left my side. I fell in love with that place. I fell in love with Jesus, and that's where I am today. And He's waiting for you too. If you come to Him, He said, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest." Are you beat up? Are you tired? Riddled with anxiety and all upset all the time? Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Jesus said that. And it's as pertinent today as it was when He said it. And he said it to me. He said it to you. You're not alone. You're not alone in this world. I used to think I was. When I was in 4th grade, I was tortured with feelings of not belonging and nobody wanting me, and me hating myself, and why did I have to be born like this? Why did I have to have OCD? Well, you know what? I did, and I was. And here I am at 67 years old, still living and kicking, and I hope I got more. Well, I got more life in me, I could say. I don't know how much, but I got more life in me. And doing this with you guys, coming to your side, walking with you on a daily basis. I wish when I was young I had known about stuff like that, but we didn't have these video cameras and stuff like that they got now. But it would have been awesome to have someone to escape to, and say, "Yeah, you're not crazy. You're not alone." I thought I was crazy and alone all my life as a kid. And then when I discovered alcohol, forget it. God went out the window. All common sense went out the window. I'm here to say that, don't send God away. Don't drink. Sobriety is the best way to live your life. I wouldn't trade this life with anybody for anything. Life is a wonderful thing, and this day is right in front of us. It's in front of me too, and I don't want to drink today. I don't know what God has sometimes, but you know what? I could be sitting there just praying with my mouth shut to God. What do you got in store? What's going to happen? What's going to happen today? Stay with me. And I pray that quite often. Stay with me, because I need you, Lord. And I need you guys. We need people too. We need God and we need people. And if you're an alcoholic like me, I'm a recovering one. There are people. You'll find them at meetings. You'll find them wherever you go. They're there. And I am one to say to you that you're not alone. You're not alone. And if you think you are, look up. There's a God up there, and he's up there. He's with you. He can be anywhere you want him to be, and he will. He created us, and if he could create us, he could deliver us from anything in the world. I like to say that. I say that quite often, that God fights my battles for me. He promises that in his word. And once you become a child of God, believe me, that's the best thing you could ever hope for. I'm a child of God. I'm in the family of God. And I want you guys to be also. I want you to come to him, and don't make it a hard, terrible thing. It'll be the most freeing thing you ever do, is come into God. And come now, come today. With that, I like to say God plus one is always a majority. And love you guys. Hang in there. God bless.